was the Wilcox brothers wrote a book in the 2000s that I loved. And it's mostly carbohydrate. So there's a fair amount of rice, but probably could have done better with a bit of brown rice. White rice sends your glucose through the roof.
Right.
But mostly what I was eating were Chinese or Japanese vegetables that I could get at the local market. So they're organic, fresh, green, full of vitamins, and soy. Mostly it was that. It was a plant-based, soy-based diet with a little bit of fish. And I looked great. I felt great. And then my kids came along and we ate pizza for a few years. But it was great while it lasted. And if you look at the Okinawans on the island of Japan, they are arguably the longest lived people on the planet. But they have other things that are good for them, things like social structure and exercise. They work until they're in their 90s or 100.
None of these things happen in a void.
Right. But that lifestyle is probably the ultimate for human longevity. And we know this because if Okinawans moved to, say, Hawaii, which a lot of Japanese did, then they don't live long anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You talked about lifestyle. This is a really big part of, you said you wanted to get back to the Blue Zones idea. You go across the world, you look at these communities of long-lived people. They have a lot of things in common. And we've been talking about diet today, so let's just jump into that. And there's been criticism of Blue Zones too.
Yeah, so Dr. Harriet Hall has said that those demographic data, people's ages weren't actually correct. But if you dig into it, they did a really good job. So Dan Buettner, I think, is right in saying that these people tend to live a long time. Out of hundreds of people that they checked the records of going back in the city records, there was one person that was misjudged. What was it?
They thought they were like 111 and they were actually 107 or something.
Yeah, big deal. Okay, but that, of course, all studies have caveats. But this, I think, is really clear that areas of the world that have the right combination of foods, exercise, social structure, they do live longer. This is no surprise. Even in yeast, when we don't give them social life, but when we modify their diet or give them food in a restricted, time-restricted fashion, they also live longer. So I don't understand why it's controversial.